Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. The whole idea of a natural gas company actively trying to, well, sell you less gas, it sounds completely backwards, right? It's a fascinating paradox. But today, we're going to look way past the surface level PR and dig into a highly specialized area called end use efficiency. We're going to see exactly how reshaping utility incentives is literally transforming the entire energy landscape. Here is our agenda for today. 1. The Greenhouse Gas Challenge. 2. What is end-use efficiency? 3. How utilities drive efficiency. 4. The financial business case. And 5. Measuring efficiency success. Section 1. The Greenhouse Gas Challenge. So we really have to start with the massive global challenge that utility companies and regulators are dealing with right now. Now, natural gas definitely produces fewer greenhouse gas emissions compared to other fossil fuels, but expanding its efficient use is still an absolutely crucial strategy for governments and regulators trying to bring down total emissions. Because look, even with lower emissions than, say, coal, the natural gas value chain still creates a meaningful level of greenhouse gases overall. It's definitely not a free pass. So as policymakers try to mitigate climate risks, making sure that the gas we do use is consumed as efficiently as possible becomes this essential long-term focus. And to actually manage this huge transition, we have to look at the official rulebooks. Specifically, we're talking about the Sustainability Accounting Standards for gas utilities and distributors. These standards, which used to be known as the SASB standards and are now managed by the ISSB, the International Sustainability Standards Board, they provide the exact framework for how these companies need to track and report their efforts to tackle these emissions. So this isn't just about a company looking good for the cameras, it's about hard, rigorous financial and operational accounting. Section 2. What is end-use efficiency? Okay, this brings us right to the operational strategy designed to actually tackle this emissions challenge head-on. According to the regulatory standards, end-use efficiency is all about the actual measurable changes in a customer's energy consumption or demand driven by specific utility programs. So it's not just about, a customer randomly deciding to turn down their thermostat one day. No, it is a deliberate, intentional change resulting from program-related actions taken by participants regardless of what actually motivated them to participate in the first place. And this quote brilliantly illustrates why regulators care so much about this. Energy efficiency is a low lifecycle cost method to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Think about it. Instead of spending billions building massive new infrastructure just to handle peak energy loads or gambling on highly experimental carbon capture tech, it is so incredibly cost-effective to just reduce demand across the entire lifespan of the energy grid. Literally, the cheapest, cleanest gas is simply the gas you never have to burn in the first place. Section 3. How utilities drive efficiency. Okay, so how do these utility companies actually get customers to use less gas in the real world? Well, utilities actively roll out very specific boots-on-the-ground initiatives to lower those life cycle costs. Step 1 often involves just giving direct financial rebates to customers who upgrade to high-efficiency appliances. Step 2 goes further, involving physically weatherizing customers' homes. We're talking insulation, ceiling drafts, making sure the heat isn't literally escaping right through your roof. And step 3 is rolling out broad educational campaigns to teach people effective energy-saving methods. They are actively intervening to help you lower your bill. Section 4, the financial business case. So let's talk about the financial incentives here, because why on earth would the utility company want to pay to insulate your attic? By sponsoring these efficiency programs, utilities aren't just being green for the sake of it. They are strategically protecting their bottom line. When they lower overall energy demand, they actively reduce downside risks from severe demand fluctuations. Plus, they actually gain returns on the investments they put into these very programs. They decrease their own operating costs by reducing the strain on their infrastructure, and ultimately they earn higher risk-adjusted returns over the long term. It is a highly calculated, incredibly smart financial strategy. But you might be wondering, how is that even mathematically possible? Well, it's thanks to specific policy mechanisms designed by regulators. Take a look at mechanisms like deferral and current period decoupling. This literally separates a utility's profits from the raw volume of gas they sell, meaning if they sell less gas, they don't just automatically lose money. Then you've got lost revenue adjustments, which actively compensate utilities for the sales they lose due to these efficiency programs. And energy efficiency feebates use direct financial rewards and penalties to push utilities toward their efficiency goals. Essentially, the regulators have entirely re-engineered the profit motive. Section 5. Measuring efficiency success. Now, with this new business case established and the profit motives realigned, how do investors and regulators actually hold these companies to account? Because as they say, you can't manage what you can't measure. Well, they follow a very specific standardized metric. Under the accounting standards, this is metric IFGU 420A2. This rule requires utilities to disclose the exact total amount of gas savings delivered to customers broken down by market, with the market being defined as an area subject to distinct public utility regulatory oversight. It demands strict transparency so investors can see for sure exactly how effective these efficiency programs actually are. But here's the thing. Measuring energy that wasn't used is pretty tricky. So these savings have to be carefully accounted for. Utilities generally report gross savings, which calculates the changes in consumption from anyone participating in the program. But some markets require looking at net savings, and net savings are way stricter. They're defined as changes in consumption specifically attributable to the program that absolutely would not have happened otherwise. This is crucial because it prevents utilities from taking credit for someone who, say, was going to buy a highly efficient furnace anyway. And the ultimate unit of measure used across the whole industry to quantify these massive savings? It isn't dollars, and it isn't cubic feet. It's the MMBTU, or million British thermal units. So whenever you're reading a utility sustainability report, you're going to see their customer gas savings quantified in MMBTU. It's essentially the universal language of energy efficiency in the gas sector, and it allows regulators to compare performance apples to apples across totally different companies and regions. So we've just seen how a massive environmental challenge led to a redefined standard of efficiency, which in turn forced regulators to create these really ingenious financial mechanisms, like decoupling to make using less gas highly profitable for the very companies selling it. And that leaves us with a really powerful thought to chew on. If we can successfully align corporate accounting and profits with energy reduction in the gas sector, what other massive global challenges could we solve just by changing the financial incentives? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.